and welcome back to For Better For Worse, our brand new podcast all about love, marriage, and everything in between. I'm Sian Wass.
Is there anything in between?
Probably not, no.
Love, marriage, and everything in between. Just
Arguments.
sounded odd. I don't want to re-record it or anything. It just sounded odd when you said that. Love, marriage, and everything in between.
Love, arguments, pet peeves.
Hatred.
Hatred.
And everything in between.
Yeah.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Ryan. Hello. This week's episode is titled Being Ill. Now, this wasn't the title we were going to use, was it, for the podcast?
No.
It's not what we were going to discuss this week.
Nope.
But the reason that we're choosing it is I've been very, very ill.
He has been very, very ill.
Just to give everyone a rundown, not to dwell on it, or, people don't have to message in and say I've been brave or anything like that. But
that means he wants you to message in and say that he's being brave.
What it was, so a couple of weeks ago I had the flu. A few days of the flu, quite sort of bedbound, quite ill.
Yeah.
Got over it. I was sort of getting over it. But then I had some really bad pains in my sort of like ribs and back and stuff like that. Went to the doctors. Doctor told me I had inflamed lungs. So every time I moved, my lungs were rubbing against my ribs and that was hurting. Bit of a chest infection as well. So that was,
That was nice.
That was number 2 on the list.
Yeah.
So I got some medication for that. And then on the back of that, I got gastritis, which everyone mixes up with gastroenteritis. Two very different things.
My mum did.
Yes.
She did.
So gastroenteritis is when you've been sick and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Gastritis is when your stomach lining swells up. And that means you can't eat because everything that hits your stomach, you're doubled over in pain. So I had that for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I got medication for that. And it turned out the first medication that I was taking was making the gastritis worse. Yeah. So then I had that and that was really bad. And then now I've got the medication for the gastritis is making my skin really sore.
Yeah.
Which is odd as well. So, yeah, in a nutshell, that's all we got time for this week. No, so I've been ill this week, so we're talking about it. It's been quite a big gap between recording these episodes as well.
Because you've been ill.
Yeah, because episode 1 was recorded well in advance of it being released.
Yeah.
But then episode 2 is being recorded just before we should be releasing it. So, I think I've got everything in.
Have you got everything off your chest?
I think so, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's it been like? I know what it's been like for me. It's been horrific.
Yeah.
It's been horrific
for me too.
10 days, like 10, 11, 12 days.
Yeah.
It's been really bad.
So much so, we had to forego our tickets to the football, which I wasn't very happy about.
No, we did have to do that, so we had to give that up. I wasn't happy about that either. What's it been? But what do you think you're like when I'm ill? The reason I'm asking it, I want your perception of what you think you're like when I'm ill, and then I'll tell you what you're actually like when I'm ill.
Well, I know what I'm like.
Go on.
I am no Florence Nightingale. I get really anxious when Ryan's ill. I don't get ill very often. I'm very tired all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't tend to get ill for some reason.
No, you don't tend to get ill, even though your diet's awful. Because it is, isn't it? Really,
it's not the best.
But you don't tend to get ill.
I don't.
No,
I'm a mum, and mums don't get ill. And if I did get ill, I would rock on and carry on and soldier on through it. Not like you men.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. You've got a very long-term medical condition, though, haven't you? Where that we have to endure as a family. You're waiting for a hip replacement, aren't you? I mean, that's a daily thing. That's not, I'm ill every now and again. Well, I say that. I've had a bad couple of months, to be honest.
You have had a bad couple of months.
I fell over in work and I hurt my back.
So we had to go to hospital.
I had to go to hospital. And then I was off work for a week. And then about a month or so later, I got COVID. And then I was off work for a week. This is the new strain of COVID. This isn't the old the old rubbishy COVID. This is the super strength one that's about these days.
Yeah.
I got that one. And then like 2 weeks after that, I got the flu. And then I've had this whole list of stuff after that. But you're right. You don't really get ill. Why do you reckon? Do you reckon it's genes? Not the wearing kind. I mean, look, do you think...
they're so tight, no bugs can get in.
Yeah. Do you think...
I don't know because my dad gets poorly. He has like flu and stuff like that, and I don't know. My brother does.
Yeah.
I'm just superhuman, I think.
Maybe because you've got like a long-standing medical condition, though. Maybe that's why. Maybe the bugs come to you.
Is it a condition?
I don't know what it is.
It's just a thing, isn't it?
It's just a thing.
Just a thing I've had since
Maybe
birth.
the germs come to you and go, oh, bless her, she's got enough going on. We'll just skip over her. We'll go to somebody else.
But the thing is, on top of Ryan being ill, last Friday, Alfie, our 11-year-old, was all dressed and ready to go to school for his last day before half term. And I was sorting him out. And then all of a sudden, he'd been complaining of a sore throat all week. But that day particularly, he was like, Mum, my throat's really sore. So... Not many people do this, but we've got COVID tests from when COVID was like a thing, big thing, you know.
Yeah, because we never throw anything away.
We don't, but excuse me. I decided to give him a quick test, and it was positive. So then Alfie couldn't go to school either.
Yeah.
Ryan was poorly. I was working from home. I really wanted to go into the office to get away from it all. Which I have done this week.
Yeah, you have. But you didn't really answer my question, though.
I'm terrible.
Looking after people.
I'm not. When Alfie's poorly, I get anxious.
Yeah.
So I do the mum thing and I do look after him. But if there's any like sick involved, you have to sort that out.
Yeah.
Same that with the dog, you have to sort that out as well. Because I've actually got and not many people will know this, but I've got a metaphobia, which is basically a fear of being sick and the seeing of sick.
The seeing of sick.
Seeing of sick. So it's probably a good thing that I don't get ill because it would make me 10 times.
I tell you what, you just reminded me of something as well.
Oh, God.
The last time Alfie, because he had COVID the other week, he wasn't really ill, was he?
He wasn't.
He was fine. He was no problem at all. He sailed through it.
But we kept him off school, obviously, because we didn't want him to give it to any of the other children.
Last time he was ill before that, he was physically sick, wasn't he?
Whilst we were on holiday in Ibiza.
No, not that. Oh, that time.
That's the last time he was
it was.
ill.
And yes, it was. We were on holiday and he was sick, wasn't he? But he missed the toilet and he was sick all around the toilet.
I hope no one's eating their tea as they're
Oh, yeah.
listening to
Sorry.
this.
I should have done a warning.
A little disclaimer.
I had to clean that up. That was horrible, that was.
But that's all part and parcel of being a parent, isn't it?
Not for you, it's not.
I cleaned up his sick when he was a baby.
Oh, did you? What, the little tiny puddle of sick that they used to do when they were kids?
But yeah, I am terrible. I am not a good mum when it comes to being cleaning up sick and snot. And I'm a bit of a germaphobe.
I see, for me, you're not very good at looking after me when I'm ill. I don't think. But
you like being on your own.
See, this is my next point.
Yes.
I was giving you a slap with one hand, but then I was going to just clarify that in the sense of going, I am an only child.
Yep.
I very much like my own company. I have no issue with being on my own. And that doesn't change when I'm ill. I like being left alone when I'm ill. Which
is great for me because I'm not very good at looking after people.
Yeah, but you, the funny thing about you when I'm ill, there's like when you walk into a room and I'm ill, say I'm like shivering or I'm under a blanket, I see you look at me and you look away dead quick, like as if you're sort of going, if I don't look at him, he won't ask me to do anything.
No, it's not that. Like I said, it just causes me so much anxiety when anybody's ill, when my mum, my dad, my brother, my nephews, Alfie, it's just...
But you don't have to see them, do you?
I don't. Well, I do, obviously, but I don't. Yeah, when they're poorly, we kind of stay away. so Alfie's been on half term this week from school.
Yeah.
Because obviously we live in Wales, so Wales half terms that been this week.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been probably a bit of a boring week because he had COVID, so he couldn't go to my mum and dad's. I
No.
mean, your parents
Are on
are on
holiday anyway.
holiday, so he couldn't go there. And even if they were here, he couldn't go there because,
Yeah.
you know,
Because he had COVID.
he had COVID. So, and then Ryan's been poorly. I've been in the office all week,
Yeah.
you know, keeping away. And it's just been one of those crappy weeks, hasn't it?
Does it piss you off
When you're ill?
when I'm ill?
No, it does. Well, it does because that means I have to make the tea and stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm no chef.
Do you know what? I find the funniest when I'm ill?
What?
You come home and I'm ill, and like in certain periods of me being ill, I was maybe asleep when you came home, or I was like wrapped up on the sofa or whatever it is. And I was like, the dog hasn't been out. So you're like, oh, I've got to take the dog out. So you take the dog out.
That's Ryan's job.
And then you come back and then you go, oh, I'm going to do dinner now. And then you cut the dinner. And then, you know, you do all these little jobs. And then I could just hear you you're not moaning, but you're just sort of like, it's that sort of like.
I've had a hard day at work.
That's the shit I do every day. That's like, you do it when I'm ill. That's the shit I do all the time.
But you love doing all that shit. It's like, yeah, that's your thing, taking the dog for a walk. You love you know, she's your little princess. Don't get me wrong, I love Poppy, but she's currently licking the sofa at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm not good. But as well, like you said, that you like to be left on your own, just to get on with it, and just to, you know, to heal by yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas on the rare occasion that I am ill, I am so needy.
Yeah, you are.
I am needy. I'm like, I want my mum.
Yeah.
I want cuddles. I want things done for me. I don't like being left alone. If Ryan says, right, I'm just going to nip out, I'm like, no, you can't. You can't. Don't leave. I'm like a child when I'm
very
poorly.
Different in that sense,
We are.
aren't we?
That's
yeah,
why,
you don't
yeah,
like being left on your own.
I don't.
No.
I hate it.
No.
And I again, like we brought up in the last podcast, it might be because of my parents.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the worst when I'm ill.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people do, though, don't they? Because I've had this period of illness, I've had a few diagnoses of different things. Gone, oh yeah, it's this, and then they medicated me for that, and then that medication was making worse what it actually was, and then that developed into something else.
Yeah,
and then something else, and then the other day. It was sort of like something else again, and it's like, and I've got the doctors again on Friday and I had blood tests done and all this sort of thing. So you do maybe think the worst, but you know, it is what it is, isn't it? Just gotta crack on.
Yeah, my brain goes in overdrive, and when you're ill as well, my brain goes in overdrive. Oh my god, what? I can't.
He hasn't got life insurance.
and the death in service in work hasn't been implemented yet.
No.
You know, so hold on a bit.
Okay, I'll do what I can.
Hold on a bit.
I'll do what I can. Were you very ill as a child?
No.
No.
The only thing probably I had when I was younger was obviously my hip.
Yeah.
But you know, you just get on with that, don't you? But I don't think so. Obviously, I get the flu now and again, and no, I've never even had the flu.
No, no, don't. Yeah,
no, I haven't.
I do have to pull you up on that because a lot of people always go, "I've had the flu," and it's like you haven't had the flu.
You've had a cold.
If you know when you've had the flu
Yeah.
because you can't move. You literally can't move. You drift in and out of consciousness for days. You're asleep. You're awake. You're sweating. You're cold, and you don't know what day it is. That's the flu. Sorry, I'm just burping into the mics now.
Actually, right. I can't believe I'm telling this story. But do you remember when we lived in the flat?
Yeah.
Alfie had just been born.
Yeah.
So he was about 5-6 weeks old.
The first flat.
No, the second flat.
The second flat, yeah.
The second flat. And I I can't believe I'm telling this story. But do you remember I got up, I was sick.
Yeah, I do. I know what you're going to say. Yeah, go on.
And it came out the other end as well.
Yeah, I
That
remember
was
that.
horrendous. I was like, don't look at me. Just don't look at me. And you,
Yeah.
you know, obviously you were the loving husband. And actually, I don't think we
What
were
do you
married.
mean you were the loving husband?
Were we married then?
Yes.
No, because we didn't
No.
get married till Alfie was 1.5. So
Yes.
no, we
So
weren't
no, we
married.
weren't. But
So yeah, all right, the loving fiance, boyfriend, whatever.
yeah.
You know, you were lovely, and you know, you did look after me. But I think afterwards, when you knew I was okay,
Yeah.
you pissed yourself laughing.
Yeah, but it's quite a funny thing to happen, isn't it?
It's the most horrendous thing.
Yeah, but it's not every day you poo yourself, is it? So
I don't think I've done it since.
no.
To be fair, the
No.
one and only time, and I
know.
was mortified. Can you imagine if that had happened when we had just started going out? Do you think you would have been like, you know,
Yeah, because it's not. I mean, it's not that bad, is it? If you'd have just like you were ill, right? And you were ill when it happened. If it had happened on when I took you out to dinner, and you go, you never guess what's just happened.
just shit myself?
Yeah, then yeah, maybe we wouldn't have made it this far. But you know, when you're ill, it's different, innit? Everything goes out the window when when you're ill and stuff like that.
We're quite lucky in regards to like kid illness, because
yeah.
you know, Alfie is, you know, obviously he gets the odd cold and stuff like that, but he's not, and he obviously fakes being ill.
But this is exactly. I was going to jump in and I was going to say this because he's a big faker, our son, and he's upstairs now, so he can't hear it. But I'll play this back to him. But he knows that we know,
and he always does it when Ryan is on early shift.
Yeah.
When Ryan is not here, he will be like, "Oh, mummy, I've got a bit of a stomach ache."
Yeah.
And you're like, and then I get all because he knows I get anxious about it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and then I remember the last time he said he was poorly, but I think he genuinely did have really bad pains in his stomach. I'm still waiting for the doctor to call me back, actually.
Yeah,
this was about 3 weeks ago.
I know.
And you said to me, it was the day before your birthday.
Yeah.
And you said to me, if you keep him off school, you'll ruin my birthday.
Yeah.
So that made me anxious because I thought, well, I can't send him to school. He's doubled over in pain. So
He wasn't doubled over in pain.
He was.
He played you. He plays you.
No.
He plays you like a flute.
Fiddle, I think he played.
Flute.
Is it a flute?
No, I'm saying flute.
Right, okay.
He plays you like a whole orchestra, whatever the instrument is. Because I've driven him to school before with tears in his eyes.
Oh, you sound so bad.
No, because I know he's fine. I know 95% of the time he is fine, right? And this is the whole. I've told him the boy who cried wolf story.
Yeah, we've told him many times.
Numerous occasions I've told him this story.
Yeah.
And I said, if you keep doing this, because the times he has off, he then, a couple of hours, he'll lie on the sofa for a bit. Just to cement the story, and then he'll be up and he'll be on his Xbox. He'll be watching the TV, whatever.
It wasn't that particular day though. He lay on the sofa all day. He didn't eat anything, and that's not like Alfie.
Yeah, whatever. But and then and he's fine. So and I've tried to teach him the story because. The day when he was crying and I was driving him to school going, I don't care, you're going to school, right? He was fine that day because he spent the whole day in school. He came home and he was fine, right? But if he was actually ill that day, that's on him though, isn't it? Not on me. It's on him because the amount of times that he never makes out he's ill on the weekend, does he? Have you noticed?
No.
Never.
No,
he's never
full of
ill on the
beans
weekend. Yeah.
To be fair though, he's a kid though, isn't he? They have the odd faking of being ill, but generally he's a, touch wood, he's a healthy guy. He's a healthy lad, and that's, I'm happy about that. But do you think I am like, maybe if we had more than one child, I would be a bit more just suck it up and go to school.
Depends which one your favourite was, though, then, doesn't it?
Well, he's my only favourite.
But we haven't had another one, so we don't know. The second one might be better.
Well, we're not going to have another one now. I'm 41 now. I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe so.
But then if you're saying if we had a second child,
might be better.
Worse.
Could be worse.
Ill all the time. Like, because my friends, even like our nephews, they've always they always catch things quite easily.
Yeah, school's a breeding ground.
They are a breeding ground, and and I just think, oh my God. And then like other kids, such and such has got, I don't know, sickness and diarrhea, and there's definitely something going around at the moment. You're like, well, it hasn't reached our house.
Do you know what I think happens? I've noticed as I'm getting older, right, that because to talk about diet a little bit, I said your diet's not great. Well, we obviously live in the same house. We eat roughly the same things, although I do work shifts, so there's meals that I eat when you're not there and you're at home and stuff like that.
No, I go to my mum and dad's.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But
as often as I can.
Diet's not great apart from 2 or 3 months of the year, which leading up to holiday when I eat really healthily because I like to look good on the beach.
Yeah, you just need to get gastritis and pleurisy and everything because you've lost a bit of weight this week.
Well, I think what happens is the having kids is that they go to school, they pick up all this shit from school, they bring it home. And
it bypasses them.
Because they're kids, a lot of the time they can just shrug it off.
Yeah.
But me, in my 42-year-old knackered body that I've got. I was going to
say you're prime, but you're not in your prime anymore.
That. Definitely past that. And I just seem to suck all the germs in from him. And then I'm the one who seems to get ill. But I'm not ill a lot. But at the moment, I just seem to have had everything all at once. It's
kind of all come. Yeah, it has come all at once, and it's been hard. It's been hard.
It's been tough for you.
It's been tough, yeah.
For me being ill, what has it been tough sitting there eating your Kit Kats and your crisps, watching me doubled over in pain, not being able to eat?
Oh, come on!
Oh, it's been rough for you, hasn't it?
I remember I had I had a Kit Kat and a cup of tea the other day, and you went, "Oh, got a Kit Kat up here," and I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry. Do you want me to eat in the kitchen?"
Just for anyone, I don't know if Kit Kats are worldwide. Are Kit Kats worldwide?
I'm not sure.
Kit Kats are chocolate bars, anyway.
Like a.
It's like a 2-fingered biscuit that you snap in half.
Oh, they're amazing.
Oh, you can get 4-fingered varieties.
And you can get chunky ones too.
You can get chunky ones as well.
I'm actually quite obsessed with Kit Kats at the minute.
There must be if there's Americans listening, there must be an American version of a Kit Kat. Unless Kit Kats are available in America.
They must be. We get Americans like sweets and things over here.
Yeah, but not everything travels, does it?
No, but Kit Kats, I bet they do travel because they are awesome.
We're just talking about Kit Kats now.
Yeah, but yeah, so I was eating crisps as normal. I was having ice creams as normal. I was having normal food, and Ryan was just like, "Oh, I'll go and have my bowl of porridge now, shall I?"
Yeah, but that was the problem. At its height, I couldn't even drink water because as soon as I drank water, it hurt as soon as it got to my stomach. So it was sort of the least of my worries eating, really.
Yeah, I remember when you said to me today, actually, because obviously you have been poorly. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You have been really, really poorly.
Yeah.
And it has made me very anxious. But when you said to me, you said, "Oh, do you know what? I ate today and it didn't hurt."
Yeah.
I was so excited for you. I was like, "Yay!" Like really patronising, but I was just really, really happy that I'm getting my Ryan back. And I keep getting messages from people saying, "Oh, what have you done to him?" You're like, heck, he's just a sickly person.
Yeah, talking around messages. So we do run another podcast as well. It's called Me, the Wife, and Wrexham AFC.
Yeah.
And we've had quite a few messages on there asking if I'm okay and stuff like that. And, I'm getting better.
You are.
On the mend. So if you did want to listen to us talk some more, then just search Me, the Wife, and Wrexham AFC everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
What a plug.
Yeah.
What a
just
plug.
little plug for another
Little
one.
plug.
We haven't had many listens on this version of us out there at the moment.
But we have had the listens that we have had. We've had some good feedback.
We've had some very good feedback.
People have said that it's nice to hear, because obviously people who listen to our other podcast, it's all about football and everything like that. So although we are authentic on that podcast, I think people like to see another side of us. So we have had some nice messages. But we do want to hear from you.
Yes,
we do.
Jason got in touch, didn't he?
Did, yes.
To say he did enjoy. He did enjoy. Oh my God!
He enjoyed our podcast,
yes.
And he likes this podcast, and he likes to see the other side of us. Like I just said, people are. So yeah, we do want you to get in touch.
Yes.
We want we want people to tell us things about their relationships, their pet peeves. Obviously, that was the last episode. We want to know about your funny stories. Have you shit yourself after being sick?
Yeah.
We do. So you can obviously email us. Would you like to say the email address? Right.
Yes, it is the For Better For Worse podcast @gmail.com. If you want to email us, we're also on social media as well. So if you're watching now on YouTube,
you can't see us.
No, you can't see us.
No.
But if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, all of our social media will be listed on the screen now. If you're listening to the podcast, have a look down in the description, and we will list our social media there. You can get in touch with us via the social media. Oh, shut up, dog! The bloody dog scratching.
Do you know what? It's raining here,
door.
And we've opened the door for a new. Well, I say we. I've been in work, but Ryan's opened the door for numerous times today, and she's just stood there going, I'm not going out in that.
Yeah, no. She scratch at the door, and then she looks outside. You, I'm talking about. She scratches at the door. You open it for her. She looks out and she goes, "It's raining," and then she doesn't go out. And it's like,
she's a princess.
She is. But anyway, where was I? Yes,
social media.
So social media. Get in touch. Give us your stories, and we will talk about them on here.
Yes.
We'll give you a little shout out on the podcast.
She's gonna bark now.
Yeah, probably. Look at her prowling.
Oh, she's prying. She's like, let me out.
Hello. Right, you can shut up because we're nearly done now. But yeah, please get in touch. And we're hopefully we can get some guests on at some point once we've got a few listeners.
We've tried to coax our lad to come on and answer some questions.
Not interested.
No, he's like, no, you're so embarrassing. Yeah. I don't want to be any part of this.
Yes. Yeah, not at all. No.
Yeah. So join us next week. When we will be discussing more exciting topics.
The way you went with that, then
I was thinking.
I can always tell because we've recorded lots of episodes of podcasts over the last sort of 18 months or so. I can always tell when you're going down a rabbit hole that you start talking,
and I want you to bail me out,
but you don't know where you're going with it. But yes, please join us again in another week next Friday. The episode 3 will be available.
It will be.
And so thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, thank you for being better. So yeah, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.